ones we repair. So I'm doing another Joy-Con video today. This one's a little bit different. It turned up in a bit of an interesting state. So I bought it from eBay, and yeah, let's just say there's some parts in this bag. I was expecting it to arrive a bit more assembled than it did. I've not looked at this yet, so I'm going to pour this straight onto the mat and hope that it's not too bad. Okay, looks like we got some screws and things here. So I bought this. The seller said that they'd had a go at repairing it. I don't know what they've actually done. By the looks of things, they did buy some parts, so I don't know if that's in here or not. But anyway, it's in a bit of a sorry state from the looks of the listing and the way it's turned up, and it needs some repair and some TLC. Hopefully all of the parts are here, so we'll reassemble it. I've already spotted a couple of things that are broken, so we're going to have to fix those. I've got some donor parts ready to go as well, and it all needs a bit of a clean up. So we're going to do that. We're going to work through, give everything a really good clean, and try and get this back to a working state. So this is a bit gross. It looks a bit gross in there. The back doesn't look too bad. There is some damage to this back piece. But again, I've got some donor parts, so I can probably solve that. Most of it looks okay. Looks like we got a bag of buttons and screws, so that's good. Joystick, yeah, I think so. I think everything's here. I think everything looks like it's here. I think it just needs to try and figure out what's what. So we'll just work our way through and try and get this back together with the flex. There's all of our buttons. Who knows if all the screws are here? I think we're just going to have to go for it and find out. So yeah, so anyway, Joy-Con assembly video today. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, sort of coming out the other side of being under the weather, so bear with me somewhat, and we will try and get this done. I'm going to get some isopropyl on the go and just give this a bit of a clean up with a cotton bud to start with, and try and get this gunk off of here. So let's just get that done first and then go from. Right, I'm happy that that's now cleaner. It's not perfect, but it'll be all right. So let's get some reassembly of this done. Just zoom you in as well, and then we'll try and get some reassembly done here. So first and easiest thing, let's get the board back in, which is super easy to do. We just have to line everything up with the posts, and then we'll try and figure out what screws are for what. So I've got some screws here. Let me just, I got a feeling it's the small gold ones that work with the board, but I think those are too long. So I'm going to do small silver ones and just see how they look. And go to sort of the same size, and hopefully they'll be all right. There you go. So that's our board in. We might need to move things around a bit. They do actually look a bit too big, because if I remember rightly, they can come through these holes. So no, take it out. They probably are all right. So those are in. I'll put our joystick in next. I'm being an absolute idiot here. I haven't put any of the buttons in. That's not going to get us very far without any buttons in the front of it. Let's take this out. Oh, you can tell I'm coming off the back of a fluey bug, can't you? Not thinking. Let's do this first. At least these are nice and easy. They pretty much line up. You should just be able to spin them until they fall into the right place. There we go. That little cover should go on. And our square one. We got a cover for him too. We do, that's perfect. And then I'll do the top button up there in a minute when when I've got these covered over. just to hold everything in position. So again, they only go through one way. The only reason I'm putting two of these in, and I'm saying they're going through two ways, if you look at this, you'll see that there's two little holes here that are slightly different sizes. So we've got to do the two opposing ones. So let's just do that. Okay, perfect. Now let's get our joystick in, which is this one here. Hopefully it just goes in just like that, which I bet it won't because it's a pain in the bum. Oh, come on, please. Okay, I'm just going to grab a little spudger and give him a push. That's definitely in. Okay, that's locked into position. I don't know what to go with. Let's go with a couple of gold ones because they look sort of fairly long, and hope that those are the right size. Okay, when you're putting stuff back together, having not taken it apart, you sort of got to play the guessing game and hopefully get things in roughly the right positions. The ones I know for certainty are these four black ones that are the outer bottom ones, so I can discount those at least. Right. That's that. Next thing we'll do, I'll get the bumper buttons in. I think that'd be an easy win. Ooh, so let's do this first. Come on. That doesn't want to go in. There we are. And pop that one in. Perfect. Okie dokie. Let's do this. So this can only go one way. I think it slots into that one if I remember rightly. So let's slot it in first to try and make my life a little bit easier. Nope. That wasn't the plan. Okay, it's in roughly the right position. Again, we'll just nudge everything in the right place. There we go. Lock that little tab down. That didn't actually feel like that went in properly then. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, these feel like we should be using little short screws for these ones. Just because we've got stuff to sit above them as well. I don't think we put 3 screws in here. I think it's just 2. Could be wrong though. As we're winging this, maybe it is 3. So well, let's work out what we've got left. So I've got 3 screws, which are the gold ones that go in this bracket here. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So it must be. I must have to use this screw then. So let's pop that one in there. Yeah, okay, well, we'll go with it. Right, we start moving on to the trickier bits now. So let's pop this one in here. This is not a tricky bit, obviously. Okay. You hear a click from the button, which is a good sign, so that's good. Okay. So let's go on to the bit that I can see is broken. So this is our bumper buttons and our flex cable. Now this cable is snapped because it's going to plug in here. So that's gone at some stage. That's probably what they were trying to repair. And I can see the back housing is slightly broken as well. It's cracked there, look. So what I've got is a bit of a donor board here. Now this one is a little bit damaged, so I'm just going to take the flex cables off and transfer them. And I think, I don't know, I don't particularly like either of these backs. This one's really worn and this one's damaged, but I'll use the worn one. Or do I? Yeah, let's do that. I prefer this. This is tidier, but I need the flex cable. So let's just do that first. So I'm going to take this flex off of here. Yeah, I want the back though, don't I? So is it easier just to transfer that? No, okay, let's take this flex off of here. We're going to have to take both of these off anyway, so let's take this off first. It unscrews at one end and pulls out at the other, so it should just come off like that. Put that down carefully. And we want to take this off of here. I did another video actually on changing your locking bracket. So this here is the locking button, which the thing slides into the side of the switch. You can place those with metal ones, and that actually is quite useful. They don't wear then. So we want this. I'll pop this one off to one side for a minute. Then I'm going to take the one off of my... I'm not sure if this is a spare or the original. This is the original. So let's take this one off here. We're just going to get rid of because we're not going to use it anyway. Take this off here. Take this off here. That came straight away, so just chuck that out of the way because I'm not going to use that. And then I'm going to pop this one straight onto this one. And that will sort out our bumper buttons. And then we've got some nice clean parts, except they're not particularly clean. Okay, and then we're going to fix this back onto here. You probably should clean this as well, so I won't worry about it right now. Maybe I'll take that part a bit later once I've given it a test. So that's back and ready to rumble. Okay, so that's prepped. This is the next thing we've got to do. Now, I hate doing these. This is the mid-frame, and it plugs into this little tiny piece here. They're impossibly hard to get in. I can never seem to do it in one go, and it always involves me sitting there with a pair of tweezers for what feels like an eternity to get them in. However, it does feel like I might have just done it. See, look, that's what I mean by I can never seem to do this thing first time. Let's grab a pair of tweezers again. Let's get it. What I tend to do normally actually is, oh, look at that. Unbelievable. Like third attempt. That's a win right there. Right, let's do these last two flexes then. So this is the trickier bit now. This is going to be quite difficult to show on camera. But we will try and do this in such a way that you can see. Okay, so that is in, but again, I'm just going to give it a quick nudge up. Lock that into position, there we go. So that's one. I've got a feeling this one might actually fail before long as well, because it's got quite an aggressive bend in the flex. But we'll see if we can get it in nonetheless.
A few moments later.
Yeah, there you go. That's in and connected. Right, so that's our flex cables. I hate doing those, they're a pain. Right, so let's flick that over. No, let's pop our bumper back in first, because we'll just knock that one out. Like so. Let's flick this one over. Try and get this one back into position. I'm going to just tuck this cable around because I don't want it above there. I hate these cables. You're potentially going to catch it then when you screw up the screw. There we go, got it. Perfect. Right, so let's get this top section in now. Final screw. Hopefully I've got to get everything in the right place, but who knows? Cool. Right. Now we're going to do this one. Okay, let's tuck you here. Like that. Might have to just get a little bit of adhesive tape under that battery, but we'll see how we go. Pop this cable back in. Come on. It's so difficult to actually show you what I'm doing here because it's such a tiny little connection. It's just difficult to get into the right position. Oh, I got it in the right place then, and then I nudged it. There we are. Sorted. And hopefully, I'll just button it up just like that. Question is, has it got any power? No. Okay, next thing to do. Get this put back on this, and then I will give it a separate test off camera. And then we may have to report back if it's not working. That just seems crazy that potentially someone has just got rid of this thing because they broke that flex and couldn't put it back together. Who knows? I guess that's the only thing it can really be, isn't it? It's reassembling lovely, though. But again, it still needs a bit more of a clean. I just don't want to do that right now until I've given it a really good test. And there we go. One switch controller reassembled. Everything feels good, but I guess until we've actually given it a really good test, it's still pretty gunky there, look. Until we've given it a really good test, we're not going to know. So I will do that off camera. If it doesn't work, I will report back on this video, and we might have to do a follow-up. But hopefully that is it. A nice simple repair. Taken me, 15 minutes to put that back together. And hopefully we've got a fully working Joy-Con at the end of it. So yeah, if you found it useful, drop me a message, leave me a like, leave me a comment. Wish me well, because I am suffering today. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.